Hey everybody, so I'm making a video today about contrafacts and how contrafacts could really positively benefit your improvisation. So we'll get there in a minute, but this video came about because I was looking through some of my old papers and assignments and music books and all stuff that I have basically kept at my house. We've had some snow here in the Northeast, and I was in my basement kind of going through some stuff and doing a little bit of filing. And so I came across this paper and this assignment that I had done about 25 years ago when I was doing my grad work at Rowan University. Now, this assignment was given to me by Denis DiBlasio. When I was at Rowan University, Denis DiBlasio was my saxophone teacher. I had been so incredibly blessed with some really amazing, influential saxophone teachers and musicians. I mean, they have influenced me incredibly. John Cooper, Larry McKenna, certainly, and Denis DiBlasio right up there with them. And Denis, gave me such great material in the master's program at Rowan. So if you don't know Denis DiBlasio is first and foremost just a wonderful person, like an amazing person. So kind, so generous to his students, just a really great human being. But beyond that, an unbelievable jazz player, great saxophonist, great flautist, jazz flute, makes a beautiful flute sound, great flute player, plays all the saxophones. He's primarily a bari saxophone player, but a brilliant writer and arranger. He was Maynard Ferguson's music director for years. There's so much I could say about Denis, but Denis gave this assignment. So back to the grad program, he assigned us to write a contrafact. And so I picked the tune I Love You because I love, no pun intended, but I love playing over those changes. It's a great tune. Those of you who don't know I Love You, this is I Love You. And it goes on. So a wonderful standard Great American Songbook tune. I love it, by Cole Porter. So I wrote a contrafact because Denis had assigned us to write this contrafact. So let me play the contrafact for you, and I'm hoping you can hear the background track too, so you'll hear it in context. And then I'm going to explain why I think it's so important. Okay, so there's a contrafact with a couple of measures of blowing. So this tune, the contrafact, when you play contrafacts or when you write contrafacts, you're not writing out a solo, you're writing out melodies. So in essence, what makes melodies great? I mean, this is a really deep question, but I ask this to my students a lot. What makes melodies great is if they are memorable, singable, really important, singable. Singable and memorable. And there's going to be repeating ideas in them, which make them memorable. There's going to be space, which makes them singable because you have to breathe. They're going to be phrase-based, maybe longer phrases, but phrases. So when you're writing a contrafact, you want to think about writing a melody, not a solo. Now, how can this influence your improvisation? Well, when I listen back to myself play, and I do this a lot, and it's one of the reasons why I do these tunes of the day, it's more of a check for me. I'm noticing that a lot of times it's like the movie Amadeus. Too many notes. You need to just take some out. It's like I'm playing a lot of notes all the time. And sometimes my solos are a little bit devoid of melody, like just beautiful lines that will make the solo unique. If you think about some of the greatest improvisers, and the one that comes to mind right away for me is Pat Metheny. But those people that play that are not lick-based, they're not just playing like standard lines, but they're actually playing these beautiful melodies that may or may not happen rhythmically where you think they should. They're going across the bar line, and the greatest improvisers are able to do this. Chris Potter, another, like unbelievable example. And at some point I have to tell you about the lesson I took with Chris Potter, which is like mind-blowing that I actually, took a lesson with Chris Potter. But being able to play melodies, these simple ideas, but being melodic in your playing, and then also being able to do other stuff. So how does this all tie back to the contrafact? Well, if you're writing a contrafact, you are writing melodies, memorable melodies. And when you write one, and if you play it a whole bunch of times, those lines that you write in your contrafact are going to come out actually in your improvisation. So like if I was playing I Love You, like those lines are just coming out in my playing, and that's part of the contrafact, which, by the way, you'll see one of the sides on this video next to me. But it's going to make its way into your subconscious just like licks or patterns would, but instead of being a lick or a pattern, they're melodies. They're singable. They're memorable. They're going to be a little different. Is it a lick? Sure, but it's a melody. So it's going to be just a little bit different. So look at the contrafact that I did. If you look at the first 8 bars, you'll see that it's very similar. I actually repeat the same idea. This one, ba-da-ba-be-da-ba-ba-be-da. I do that same rhythm again, ba-da-ba, and then change it. So it's kind of like call and response. And then I do it again, but exactly like the first time, but just extend it into when we're going to this 3 major. And then I've got a new little rhythmic idea in the bridge. Ba-da-ba-boo-da-ba-ba-ba-be-da. And I do that same rhythm, be-da-ba, but with different notes. Now again, it's singable, which is super important. So as you write these contrafacts, and then I bring it back to the original kind of line that I did, ba-da-ba-be-da-be-da-be, and then extend it into the tag, ba-ba-do-da-da, be-da-ba-do-da-ba-da-da. Now, I don't sing well, but it's in my subconscious. So you're increasing your knowledge and your knowledge of things that you can play over a tune, but more importantly, you're increasing your melodic sense and really the beauty of your solo. It becomes more unique. It becomes more like you, because these are your melodies that you've written. Right? I'm not playing I'm not playing Larry's lines, Larry McKenna, although Larry took it from, whoever. But I'm not doing that. I'm actually playing my own. Now, that might sound like something else, but for me, that's original. So there you go, contrafacts. I think they're so important. And I do think they'll help you in your playing. And I'm so appreciative to Denis DiBlasio for giving this assignment 25 years ago. Who would think that I'd be back making a video 25 years later about this great assignment? So write some contrafacts. All right, hope this helps.